welcome back, everybody. Today, before we get started, do we have any housekeeping? Have we mentioned on the podcast that we are Fix This Next advisors now? Specifically you.
I believe we have.
I thought so. Well, I thought we could just mention it again. We still don't have it all fleshed out on how we're going to work it into our podcast and the academy and all that, but basically Fix This Next helps you pinpoint like the crucial areas in your business that you need to work on like right now, because everybody's always got a lot going on. How do you pick what do you pick, first?
Yeah, that's the biggest struggle landscapers have is where do I start? I have all these little issues, or you're not sure where to pinpoint it, so we want to help you work through it and figure out where to start.
Yeah, so you basically you take an assessment, and then Scott can advise you on where to go with that.
Yeah, basically, kind of come up with a plan and help you
get a plan to move forward. Yeah, have goals, have time frames set on, okay, here's what I need to do, here's how much time that should take, and then here's what I'll do next.
Yep.
So next, Fix This Next.
Sorry. Get it.
Anyway, so there will be more of that to come.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep. But anyway, for today's episode, we're just going to chat a little bit about a question that was posted in the Facebook group. One of our Academy members posted in there.
Yeah.
There was more to the post, but basically it was just looking for assistance on bidding new home construction and basic landscape packages. So
basically he was getting hooked up with a general contractor, it sounds like, who builds homes, and they want to just do like a contractor's type of package deal for landscaping. So he kind of reached out, wanted to make sure there wasn't anything that he forgot to put in this package. And we thought it was a great topic because this is something we had a lot of experience of. For years and years and years we did this type of work. We just did.
Oh yeah, before the housing boom, before the '08.
Yeah, before '08 we did. Probably from early '90s all the way through, we did that.
It's a great way, I think, to get into landscaping if you maybe are just starting to add landscaping from, like, say, you just do mowing or something, or if you're even just starting out and you want to get into residential. I think it's a good place to start.
It is, and it could take a little bit to get into because you got to get hooked up with the contractors. You got to make the contact. It's all about networking in the beginning, so you have to get out there and network them and build that trust and confidence with that contractor. But once you get in there, they pretty much keep you for everything. So
yeah, and there's good and bad and ugly.
There is. We can maybe get into that a little bit.
Sure.
But his question mainly was, just what all does, like with his package, what he had in there as far as plants and trees and everything. Was there anything else? So we threw out a few ideas. But basically it was, end unit had, I don't remember exactly his exact numbers, but it had 5-6 shrubs in the front, a tree in the corner, and just some basic.
These are basically cookie cutter landscaping packages. They're going to have X amount of trees, X amount of plants, of perennials. They're going to be very cookie cutter.
Yeah, and then he's just asking if there's anything else because the contractor, I think it was taking care of all the seed and sod areas and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
So we threw out the idea of adding on, possibly downspout emitters, where they come underneath the sidewalk, where we supplied them with a pipe. And they can just throw it in when the concrete guy's doing their thing.
Those are nice. Some people, we call them bubblers too, in case people don't know what we're talking about.
Yeah, I think in the book they're called like pop-up emitters. That's what
So sure.
But that was an easy add-on. If there's trees you can put in the parkways, especially end units, sometimes they may have to have 2 or more trees depending on ends size and stuff like that. And then we also threw out the idea as far as upgrading packages. So if a customer comes in or the homeowner comes in and wants to go above and beyond the typical landscape, you can throw it together a little bit nicer of a package deal, maybe some better plants, not necessarily better, but bigger plants and just a different layout and design. So you can do something simple like that, and that's always nice. Or they can also have the option of a custom landscape where you actually come in and you don't do any of the general contractor stuff except maybe the seeding, sod, and you design the whole package deal. So that was kind of the options that we threw out to them. I think there's some other members that were throwing out ideas for like amendments and stuff to the soils and all that stuff. So it just depends on your area. We didn't do a whole lot of that.
No.
So, but we just did a lot of general contractors, and literally we'd come in and do whole subdivisions, house after house after house. So
yep, one after the other.
Yeah, and that worked out really nice. I mean, we just pretty much stayed in this subdivision for months at a time, which was nice because you can just leave your material there for like years.
Yep.
So,
phone.
So it's just it's another nice little option of what you can do for a contractor. So But I would definitely, I think it's a great way to get in the landscape business, and it's a great way concrete, I can't talk today, to create persistent procedures because you're doing the same thing over and over. And this is where the system procedures come into play because you're doing the same
This
job
is
over and
something
over.
that you should be able to set up a crew to do in their sleep.
Yep.
Maybe not at first, maybe not the first
No.
couple, but if you really get in with a builder that's doing a lot of stuff and you're going to be, like Scott said, working in the same area, even the same development for months, this should be easy to knock
Yeah,
out.
yeah. Your guys basically know exactly what they need to do from starting point to the ending point of the project. You know, every day after day, they know exactly where they need to do and get done. And that's where it's nice because you can create those timelines. Okay, today you need to get this installed, this installed, this installed, and then move on. So we're able to knock out house after house like every single day. So it was nice, and it's nice because it creates that consistent income.
Right.
How
Predictable.
Yeah.
Well, if if you're like, okay, I'm going to do X many houses, yeah, it's a nice little reoccurring. It's like, well, like how lawn maintenance. A lot of people like mowing because it's steady, predictable. So
Yeah,
this
and
could
it
fall
works.
under that same category.
It works as long as you have a contractor that's willing to do
It
that,
pays.
and that pays, and the housing market's going well. So if the
Yes.
housing market's going to tank like it was in 2008,
Usually you can
we
see that coming.
yeah,
Though.
we got out of it in time for that. But
Yeah.
those are the biggest things you have to be concerned with. Um, Sometimes the contractors can be a pain in the butt because they want you there. Like if you haven't been there for a bit, and all of a sudden they have their houses ready, they want you there tomorrow. So that's some of the downfalls you have to look for with contractors. They may want you there tomorrow, but I've been providing you this money, and they want it there now. So
Right. And it's probably not the best if you have somebody like a designer that's looking for like a huge creative outlet.
yeah,
That is not the place for them.
no,
Like we said, this is really just to get started. It's
yeah, and
You don't have to have a ton of design experience to lay these plants out. So if you have somebody that's really looking to flourish and do that, maybe stick to just
yeah, if
a
you
residential home.
if
Yeah.
you like to create those consistent houses after house, like you don't really have design experience, this is perfect for it. It's great, and you can do very well on it. Um, I will say the one contractor I can think of in particular, he wanted a set price for all the houses, no matter what.
And that's hard. Yeah.
Yes, and we gave it to him, but we lost some money on some of the corner units because some of them were larger properties and required more sod, a few more trees. So we didn't do so well, and we may have made it up through the time. I'm sure we did.
Like
but
hindsight, yeah, you might have to kind of average that
yeah,
out.
it's something that you really have to look at and consider when you're doing that, especially if they want one price for everything. Or we're able towards the end, before we changed out directions, to have them, okay, the end units are this much, regular
That
house
would be
are
my
this.
recommendation.
Yeah.
Would just be like have a set price for whatever quarter acre lots are this
Yeah.
much, but when you get to it like an end lot or a double unit, it's going to be this much.
Yeah, and like some of the contractors wanted full sod throughout the whole property. Some wanted sod in the back of the house, and then seed and netting or hydro seed, whatever it was, in the back of the house too.
Side in
So,
the front,
oh yes, I'm sorry, sod in the front, hydro seed,
in the back.
netting in the back, whatever they wanted. So, but it is nice. It is nice to create that consistent income, and be able to keep those jobs going. Your crew's going one after another. So it is nice,
Yeah.
especially the housing market's doing so well.
Yeah, things are booming around here. So if you can get it hooked up with a contractor, it's not all bad, but be advised, then you have to work with the contractor. So,
Yeah.
like Scott said, they may want you out there when they want you out there. I'm trying to think of any other things we ran into. You're not going to be like putting in anything crazy. Like they're going to want it to be pretty quick and cheap
Oh,
and
yeah,
easy.
it was very
So
cheap. There was
yeah, it's not going to be anything fancy. So once again, if you have somebody who really wants to flex their creativity wings, this is not the way to do it. But if you don't mind, this was like the age of the Stella Dora daylilies. I don't know if you're like when those were literally everywhere.
Yeah.
We put them
And
everywhere.
spireas.
Oh yeah, spireas and Stellas. They
Yeah.
were literally
that and
everywhere.
a few boxwoods and some kind of tree, crab tree or whatever in the corner.
Oh, some kind of flowering
Yeah,
crab
that
on the
was it.
corner house. Done.
And we also did pears.
Oh,
Pear
the
trees.
stupid calorie pears that are They stink and they're everywhere. Oh, I hate those. I hate those stupid things.
But it was consistent, and that's what we did every single time, which made it nice because we can purchase. We knew we're going to have whatever 20 houses this year. We can purchase all those plants and have it in stock, which is really good, especially like right now when there's shortages and stuff going on.
We would purchase it, from suppliers and keep it there at the shop.
Yeah.
So we just had it there on hand. Of course, then you run into you have to have somebody to water it and take care of it at the shop.
Yeah. But you can have it, especially if you can order it early on, you can have it there. Like right now, if people can't get the supplies, that might be a little beneficial. You can order it now and just keep it there. And like Katie said, you do have to, somebody has to maintain it, but you throw a soaker hose or drip system on there, and it does work. So I will say the one thing when you start talking about some of the downfalls with the contractor, I will say one example we had was they wanted to create a wall of some sorts with trees between like a busier road on the back side, and they want us to cram these I'm trying to remember what kind of trees. They were spruce, I think. I want to say blue spruce, probably. I would imagine.
Oh, they just want you to plant them like way close together.
Oh yeah, we crammed them together. I'm like, these things are going to grow together, in a couple of years. And his exact words were, "I don't care what it looks like now. It looks good now. I don't care what it looks like in 20 years from now." I'm like, all right, but now they're like encroaching on the house. Like it went from a 10-foot backyard or whatever, a 15-foot backyard to like 5 foot. It's dumb now. I look back and it's like, why? But that's what he wanted. And
so you have to either just bite the bullet and do it like we did, even though it's maybe not right. Right tree, right place. That maybe went out the window a little bit. They don't, but they're not looking long term. They don't care.
And like I remember this is actually the same subdivision this contractor is moving into himself, and he had a custom stone
the sign
entrance
outside,
sign made up, etched in stone, and it had whatever the subdivision's name was, and he wanted to put these shrubs in front of it. I'm like, they look nice now, but in a couple years
grow.
Huge. I don't care. I'm like, this doesn't make sense. You're not going to like it. And last time I went by there, this has been now decades since we've been out there. Last time I went by, they're chopped down to the ground. Like there's nothing there. Like
because you told them they would. You
do have to deal with that sometimes.
They're going to think they know best, and so you may have to just tuck tail and be like, even if you know it's dumb, just do it.
Well, and I remember specifically telling him these types of things, and
I didn't care.
He blew it off for one. I don't know if he thought because I'm a dumb kid or something like that, but it's also like, these are.
Don't get me going on one of my tirades. So, men, business owners, they all know everything. Okay, I've dealt with. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I've dealt with this a lot. So you're gonna, you might have to deal with a little bit of ego.
You do,
because everybody knows everything and everybody's perfect. Mm-hmm.
But it was nice because like we said, we got in with I don't know, one time 4 or 5 different contractors, and that's just what we did. We did all these types of houses, and it worked well. We did really well. We did really well for years on doing that kind of stuff. It was consistent income.
Yeah, well, luckily we're like local yokels, and so your dad knew a lot of these people, but like you said, it's just networking. Yeah. So I don't really, do you have any advice on if anybody isn't just a local yokel that knows everybody and like went to high school with them?
Well, you need to get out there and start just going up, introducing yourselves to these contractors. Join some kind of, we had a BIA is a building association or building something. BIA is the organization, but Builders Association. Get in with those and start talking to them and just start networking with them and let them know, you'd like to give them a bid, an estimate on their project. So sometimes after a while they'll throw you a chance and give you a chance to do one building or something to see how it goes, or if their main landscape contractor is falling behind, they may call you in, and once they see what you can do, you start doing it. So it is good, and just be warned, they do not care for perfection, and they don't.
Yeah.
Not always. I shouldn't say all of them, but there's some that just want it done.
Well, don't do a bad job, I guess is what we're saying, but it's not the same as high-end residential.
No. Like I just remember raking, we would grade out the yard and rake out all the rocks. Some of them didn't care about all that stuff. They just get in, get out, move on. So you have your different levels of contractors. So
anything else, take that all into accord. Don't do anything that you think is like crappy work, because you don't want the homeowners to come in and be like, oh no, well, blah, 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 I did all the work in here and it sucked. So, I mean, do a good job, but it's not going to be like that fine tooth comb of, these of like high-end residential.
Yeah, I mean, I could think of another example where we had some issues where the contractor just backfilled the houses so quickly to get them up because they had them like, I think it was every 3 months they have a house built
Oh,
complete.
okay.
And they would backfill the houses with this clay dirt. Our area is pretty hard clay, and they backfill it. Well, we put our sod up there, and then a few weeks later, after all this watering of the sod, the
Everything
dirt would settle
settled.
around the house, and we'd have to go dig up 3 feet around the house and fill it in with dirt, and like have the NIPSCO come back out because NIPSCO or the gas meter had twisted.
The
It just,
electric and all that.
oh
Yeah.
yeah, I remember some of that stuff, and it's just they want it done, and they want it done now. They want their money, so.
Yep.
But but it is good if you're wanting to do consistent work and
Like I
know
said,
what
and
you
I
need.
think that's a good little foot in the door
Mhm.
of doing some landscaping if your guys haven't done landscaping
Yep.
before. Because once again, it have to be quite as perfect. It
Mhm.
just it has, sometimes done is done,
Yep.
and like you said, I'm not advocating doing a bad job. Do a
No.
good job, but it's a great way to get practice, I guess, because
Yep.
nobody starts out doing high end crazy stuff. This is a great way to practice.
Yep, absolutely. So
Yep. All
All
right.
right, you got some,
Anything? I've got some pod deck questions for you. All right. What's one bad habit you're trying to get rid of? I don't know. Have I asked you this one before?
I don't know. Bad habit?
Or do you like all your bad habits and you're just trying to keep them?
I guess my bad habit is all the pop and coffee I drink. That's something I should
A
probably
little
cut
caffeine
back.
problem?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's something I would like to.
Well, you
Get rid
don't
of.
drink nearly as much as you used to. I mean, I
No,
remember back in the day when you could really slug it back. The
Yeah.
coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I've cut back, but it's something I would like to eventually get rid of or
Yeah.
slow down a lot more.
All
Maybe
right.
maybe 1 cup a day. 2, 3.
Two. I'm like, I don't see you being a 1 cup a day, but I can see you doing a cup, maybe 2 cups of coffee. Haha. Okay. Who or where would you haunt if you were a ghost?
Ooh. Well, I know you said you'd haunt me, so
I will haunt you forever if I die first. That is correct.
I'm a little bit of a spiteful person, so I'd probably go after the people that.
Oh, that like
Okay.
wronged you? Are you gonna
Yeah,
mess with them?
I
You're
would.
like some poltergeist stuff?
I would. Yeah.
That
Yeah.
that went dark. I was not expecting that. Like, I mean, I say I'm gonna haunt you, but you're gonna like know it's me because I'm just gonna be doing like dumb things that are like ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like putting rubber bands on the
I mean, I would-
faucets so when you turn it on, it squirts you in the face, like stuff like that. So.
I mean, I wouldn't hurt anybody, but I would just.
But you'd scare them till they cried, though.
Well, maybe.
Spiteful. Okay. Would you rather go 30 days without your phone or your entire life without dessert?
Oof. I don't know. That's a tough one.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes it might be nice to go without the phone, but
But I do sometimes call you T-Mobile because you're ignoring myself and the children because your nose is stuck in your phone. So.
sometimes, yes.
So it
I
might
mean,
be a little hard.
I could probably do without desserts.
I figured you'd say desserts because you don't
Yeah.
like sweets nearly as
Yeah.
much as I do.
I could probably.
I
do
would
without
never go
desserts.
without desserts. I would like take my phone. I don't care. You can take it for. Go for
No,
it.
I'd probably do
Don't
without
take
desserts.
my French silk pie. All right. I think that's all we've got today. If you haven't checked out our free Facebook group, Landscaping Business Owners, make sure you hop in there. Keep an eye out on our website, and because we will be having Fix This Next somehow incorporated in there soon.
Yeah,
So
we'll let you know when we get it all hammered out. We're trying to get the website all finished up, and
yeah, because we'll have our own link where you can take the assessment. But like I said, we're still kind of hammering it out. But stay tuned for that. So
Yep. And then if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, make sure you check that out. You can watch these videos of what we're doing right now on there.
we've got the podcast, and yeah, Scott's been recording some other good stuff.
Well, we just got a new camera today too. We can go out and start recording.
We did. Well, we had to get a new camera because we have video that we couldn't even post on YouTube because I was operating the camera and the camera's like pointing at the ground, the camera's pointing at the sky.
Katie
I couldn't
was
use
never
the.
on the AV crew.
No, I was not on the AV team, and I have been kicked off our 14-year-old kicked me off the AV team. But maybe now with our new camera, I can use it. But the other one, I could not figure out I just call them all gimbals. I think that might be a brand, but
it's a gimbal.
Oh, is that what? Okay, yeah. The gimbal and I were not getting along. So anyway, but check those out. So if you do watch any videos and there's some very weird camera editing, you can just chalk that up to me.
We're working on that.
I'm trying. God, we got a new camera. So, all right.
All right, guys.
Thanks for listening.
Yep. Thanks for joining us today. Have a great day.